Being known as a killer of success, a parasite to the human mind, insecurity has taken over the world. But what really is insecurity? The Oxford Dictionary defines insecurity as uncertainty or anxiety about oneself, a lack of confidence. Insecurity has simply always been known as a lack of confidence, a feeling of being inadequate, often associated with childhood traumas. In comparison to others, people with large amount of insecurities feel like they've been set up for failure, like the world is against them. But what if I told you it was the complete opposite? The definition that we just used might be a bit outdated or just needs to be considered from a different perspective. So let's make our own definition of insecurity. A personal difference that allows people to stand out from each other. Let's picture this, a world without insecurities, or at least how we just defined it. A world where everybody looks the same, everybody acts the same, everybody is the same. What a boring world to live in. Being different from other people is a good thing. And no matter how insecure you are or how your insecurity has come about, there are always good things that come from that. When you're insecure, it means you're vulnerable, and this allows you to be the most authentic version of yourself possible. Let me give you an example. Michael Jordan, arguably the most esteemed basketball player of our time. Throughout his illustrious career, MJ has faced an immense amount of setbacks and developed many insecurities. Critics questioned his ability to lead a team and to win championships. Now, he's known as arguably the greatest player ever to touch a basketball. He reframed his self-doubt and his insecurities into a challenge. It was almost like a personal sense of drive or motivation that sparked his competitive edge and allowed him to become who he is today. I can't change the direction of my wind, but I can adjust my sails to always reach my destination. I think this quote perfectly summarizes insecurity. While you can't change what makes you different, the reason for self-doubt and insecurity, you can choose to not even consider it as an insecurity, or rather it's just something that makes you unique. Something to keep in mind if you're still having doubts is that nobody knows what your insecurities really are. Something that you are insecure about because of what other people have said could just be a normal thing that isn't actually viewed like that on a larger scale. And the problem was the people that were judging you themselves. For example, someone who could be extremely insecure about the way their voice sounds and how they don't like the pitch or the tone or just anything really. Now that person could be a victim to years of low self-confidence about their voice, when in reality their voice sounds completely fine. Nobody would have even thought that the person's voice would even be a source of insecurity. Insecurities literally can be made up in your own mind just because of a comparison to one specific person rather than just a large group of data. The person you compare yourself to could genuinely be insecure about the thing that you compare yourself to them for. So the whole concept of insecurities is built upon misconstrued views and just a whole general lack of information. The way to fix this is to simply reframe your perspective. Insecurities are what make you, you. They allow you to be authentic. They give you motivation to improve and to grow. And oftentimes insecurities are just made up in your own mind and you're judging yourself off a fictional reality which you deem to be correct. If you aren't insecure, you're probably doing something wrong. You are most vulnerable.